Welcome to Online Learning with me, Ma'am Jen, and this is a video on our lecture series in General Physics. Our topic for this video is about forces and motion. Now, what is force? Force is an agent of change in which it alters motion or can make a stationary object to move. Commonly, it is also defined as the push or pull in an object. Whenever a force is exerted on an object, its shape can change. For example, you punch a punching bag with your fist, the object will deform to some extent. Now, there are different types of forces. First, we have weight, then we have normal force, friction, tension, and any push or pull. Let's describe these different types of forces. First, let's have weight. Weight is the force due to gravity that the Earth or whichever planet you are on exerts on your mass. It is always directed straight toward the center of the planet. To get the weight of the object, we get the mass and multiply it to the gravity at your location. So in our case, since we are all on Earth, we multiply it to g, which is equivalent to 9.8 newtons per kilogram or meters per second squared. Next, we have the normal force. Normal force is the force exerted by a surface to keep the object from pushing the surface. It is in response to the amount of force applied to the surface, and it is always perpendicular to the surface itself. Next, let's have friction. Friction is a force that opposes the relative motion or attempted motion between two surfaces in contact. Its direction is always opposite the direction of the relative motion. Next, let's have tension. Tension is the force that pulls an object through a string, rope, or other supporting structure attached to the object. It is always directed along and through the string, rope, and others, and away from the object. Now, if the force doesn't fit other categories, we can classify that as any push or pull. Now, we also have other types of forces, such as gravitational force, electromagnetic force, strong interaction or strong force, and a weak interaction or work force. Now, let's further describe what is force and net force. The net force is the vector sum or the resultant of all forces acting on an object or system. We can say that the forces are balanced if they have equal magnitude and they are actually running in opposite directions. When forces are balanced, the net force is zero. However, we can say that the force is unbalanced with non-zero net force, which makes an object to accelerate. In some instances, an unbalanced force deforms an object in which there is a change in motion, hence, there is an acceleration. We could also differentiate forces as contact and non-contact forces. Contact force refers to force between two objects that are in physical contact. Examples of these are frictional force, spring force, and muscular force. Non-contact forces are also known as field force. So in this case, the objects are not in physical contact. Examples of these are magnetic force, gravitational force, and electrostatic force. We study force because of the observations and discoveries of Sir Isaac Newton. He is said to be the founder of science of mechanics. In 1687, he published his book Philosophia Naturalis Principia Mathematica, or simply the Principia. In his book, he had written the principles behind the three laws of motion. The laws of motion are the law of inertia, law of acceleration, and law of interaction. The first law states that an object at rest tends to remain at rest unless acted upon by an external force. An object in motion tends to remain in motion unless acted upon by an external force. Inertia is defined as the natural tendency of an object to resist any change in its motion. See our examples here. Inertia is actually a primary manifestation of mass. The higher the mass, the higher the inertia is needed because it has a greater tendency to resist changes in its state of motion. Now, objects at rest or at motion are considered to be in a state of equilibrium. Take note here that the summation of all net forces is equal to zero. Next law is the law of acceleration. It states that the acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force acting on it and inversely proportional to its mass. Remember that acceleration is the rate at which an object's velocity changes over time. The units of force are the following. So we could use Newton or dyne. For the mass, we could use kilogram or grams. And the following acceleration would be meters per second squared or centimeters squared. If we're going to follow the English system, the force should be in pounds and the mass should be in slug. The acceleration would now be in feet over square seconds. Please take note of this following conversion units. Now we recall weight as a gravitational force with which the Earth attracts the body. So this concept falls under the Newton's second law of motion. Weight is considered when a body is accelerating along a vertical path due to the gravitational pull. Lastly, we have the law of interaction. It states that for every force of action, there is an equal and opposite force of reaction. This law is based on two familiar facts. First, there can never be a force unless two bodies are involved, one exerting the force and the other one in which the force is exerted. Second, forces do not exist singly but in pairs. That's why there is always an action-reaction pairs. As you can see here, you have now a negative sign for F2 or the second force because it is running in the opposite direction. Now look at these pictures showing you some examples of the action and reaction or the equal and opposite reaction. Do you have any questions? Feel free to place them in our comment box. That's all for this video.